You ever hear a song in a movie or a video game or even a commercial and you think, I know this song. Who is this? Well, there's a pretty good chance you were listening to Two Door Cinema Club. Today we're going to get into the wild, unlikely story of how a band that started out in last place ended up becoming the accidental anthem makers for a whole generation.
So, our story really kicks off with a couple of weirdly specific things. First, I want you to picture a small, local movie theater in Northern Ireland. You got it? Okay.
Now, to that picture, add a high school battle of the bands. And I'm not talking about them coming in second or third place. No, they came in dead last. So what on earth do these two things, a mispronounced cinema and a last place finish, have to do with a band that would go on to create some of the catchiest indie rock anthems of our time? Well, as it turns out, pretty much everything.
So let's start with that name, because the story behind it is it's almost too perfect.
Yep, that's it. The name Two Door Cinema Club came from guitarist Sam Halliday just saying the name of their local spot, the Two Door Cinema, wrong. It kind of captures that accidental, effortless cool that would really define their early sound, you know? It wasn't dreamed up in a marketing meeting, it was just a happy accident.
But here's the thing. Their success, that was anything but an accident. It was actually born from that early failure and a massive, massive gamble.
I mean, just look at this transformation. Before they were Two Door Cinema Club, they were a high school band called Life Without Rory. And under that name, they totally bombed their first competition. But with a new name and a sharper sound, suddenly they were on a completely different path.
So, with a little bit of buzz starting to grow around them online, the three members made a life-changing call. They all turned down their spots at university to focus completely on the band. It was a genuine all-or-nothing bet on themselves. And let me tell you, that bet paid off. Big time. Their debut album wasn't just a hit. It was this whole phenomenon that really helped define the sound of indie rock for the early 2010s. And you can just see how fast it all happened. In less than 2 years, they went from recording their very first album in London to being blasted into American living rooms on late-night TV. The release of Tourist History was just a total whirlwind of rave reviews and an explosion in popularity. They really quickly became essential viewing at huge festivals all over the world, like here at Bonnaroo back in 2012. Their crazy energy and those perfectly crafted pop hooks were just made for giant crowds on summer afternoons, and the critics were all in. The album even took home the Choice Music Prize for Irish Album of the Year, beating out some legendary acts. So think about that. The guys who came in last place at their high school competition had just made the best album in their entire country. But here's the thing. They weren't a one-album wonder. Not even close. Over the next decade, they just kept releasing albums, and each one pushed their sounds somewhere new. So their second album, Beacon, went straight to #1 in Ireland. Then Game Show leaned into this funkier, kind of slicker sound. False Alarm was full-on synth-pop, and their latest, Keep On Smiling, well, that one came with a really bold statement. We'll get to that in just a minute. So why does their music feel so incredibly familiar? Well, it's because for the last decade or so, their songs have been absolutely inescapable. They are the definition of, oh, I know this song. Are you a gamer? Then there's basically no way you've missed them. Their high-energy tracks have been the soundtrack to countless goals in the FIFA series for years, and they've been in massive franchises from Gran Turismo to Guitar Hero. Watch TV or movies? Yep, you've heard them there too. Their songs have set the scene in everything from hit British comedies like The In-Betweeners to huge American dramas like Grey's Anatomy and The Vampire Diaries. And of course, advertisers absolutely love them. Major brands like Vodafone and Hollister have used that bright, energetic sound to sell you everything from phones to t-shirts. Their music is just engineered to be catchy, and man does it work. But here's where the story gets really interesting. After years of playing the industry game and winning at it, the band has recently decided to try and change the rules of the game itself. So this is their rebellion against the music industry machine. First, they called out the way major labels use these bundles, pairing album sales with merch to gain the charts. Then, in a truly wild move, they literally destroyed the master recordings of their last album in a furnace so it could never be reissued. And now they've stopped making albums altogether, choosing to just release songs one by one. And if you're wondering why they're doing all this, well, here's the reason straight from guitarist Sam Halliday. They just feel like the album as a format is outdated in the age of streaming. They believe this new way is more direct and isn't tied to these old industry models. It all leads us to this huge question. From a mispronounced cinema name to global indie stardom, Two-Door Cinema Club has always done things a little bit differently. And now, by questioning the very idea of an album, they're forcing all of us to ask, in a world of endless singles and playlists, what does the future of listening to music even look like?